Hey there, how do you fall in love with challenge? That's my question to you. How do you fall in love with challenge? Now, my name is Jess from Jess Dolberg Coaching. And a few years ago, I was in the corporate HR environment, and the company that I was working for had been sold and taken over, and there was new processes coming in place. Now, one day I was told that I was going to be responsible for HR and payroll, and I've never done payroll in my entire life. And my first reaction was to give them all the reasons for why that was a really bad idea. And I was fighting against it in various ways. Now, what I learned from that particular experience was that when there is an external challenge coming towards me or at me, then I fight it. That's my first reaction, is to fight the challenge, is to find ways to not have to step into it. Now, we are often very good at dealing with challenges that we set for ourselves. As entrepreneurs, we're pretty good at that. But we're not always so good at dealing with challenges that are coming at us from the external environment. So what do? 3 steps. Step number 1, see and acknowledge the fact that you are being challenged. So let me ask you this. Where in your life or in your business are you being challenged at the moment? Where are you being challenged? Perhaps by a relationship that isn't going very well, or something isn't working in your business, something that you hadn't planned on, and it's forcing you to work something out, or it's forcing you to learn something. And it's challenging. Step number 2 is, how are you responding to that challenge? Are you fighting it like I was, or complaining about it, or are you leaning in? So what does leaning in mean? It means that we're staying in the challenge even though it is uncomfortable, and taking steps to actually move through the challenge rather than holding against it. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is, what have you learned so far from being in that challenge? What have you learned so far? Celebrate what you have learned, internalize what you have learned. Not only does that give us a bit of a dopamine hit, which is great, but it also, once we realize, okay, I've learned this, we can then build on that. So it's so important. Now, I've got a client at the moment who's got a tech product that is out in the market, but he's wanting to build it out more, and he's struggling with his team that for various reasons aren't building it out as fast as he need them to or want them to, and it's really frustrating him. Now, as we were working through this particular situation where he's being challenged, he came up, through the process, he came up with the fact that what he wanted to do, the best thing for him to do was to actually accept the fact that it was going to take longer than what he would have liked. And to accept that is his challenge, because it's really hard for him to do that. But he said, no, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to accept the fact that this is going to take longer and then move forward. And so he can now operate in his day with more calm and more, enthusiasm than before, when he was kind of holding against it and being frustrated. So hopefully this was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.